Okay, welcome everyone to Poetry Out Loud for 2022. This is our Lake County virtual competition. My name is Georgina Marie. I am the Lake County Arts Council's literary coordinator and the Poetry Out Loud coordinator, as well as the Poet Laureate for Lake County. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to our Executive Director of the Lake County Arts Council, Barbara Clark, who will be our MC for today.
Thank you, Georgina. Welcome everyone to Lake County Arts Council's 2022 Poetry Out Loud competition. It's been a harrowing year or two, and I really appreciate everyone for being here, the teachers and the participants and all the students. I know it's been so hard this year, and we hope to be in person. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but we're still all here and we're still competing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you that don't know, Poetry Out Loud has been around for a long time. I believe Lake County picked it up in 2013. And it's part of the poetry competitions nationwide. And it starts in the counties and it starts at the school levels. Every school competes. Sometimes it's broken down to where classrooms compete and then they bring their champions to the whole school and the school competes. Sometimes it's just a certain English class or a drama teacher that helps bring this forward and they compete. But every school comes up with a champion. And then the champions meet every year with us and we have them compete. And then we have a county champion that's going to go on to the state. And this state will compete and then that winner will go on to the national. And each time there are some small cash prizes to try to give incentives. And it grows and it gets larger to large college scholarships and such all the way up to the national level. With that said, our sponsors are the California Arts Council. They actually are our primary funders, so we want to always give them attention and gratitude for what they do for the arts in California and how they are helping spread the love. And I want to thank all of you. And we couldn't do this without Georgina, our coordinator, of course, and also all of our teachers and our judges. So I'm going to run through some names of thank yous. We did get 4 schools this year. It's very exciting. Thank you. We have Upper Lake High School, Kelseyville High School, Middletown High School, and Clear Lake High School. I want to thank our POL coach, Michelle Kruger, especially down at Middletown. She's been doing this for years for us and really just keeping it going. So thank you so much. And then, of course, Georgina is pretty much keeping everything else going. So Georgina, we couldn't do it without you. I would like to thank the Lake County News and the Bloom for promoting our program and the press releases. Dana Adams from Lake County Office of Education was very helpful this year in helping make this happen. So we want to give her a big thank you as well. And everybody else that's just been pushing this. And I know there's people I'm probably missing specifically that have been in the background helping make this happen, but thank you, keep it up. A brief introduction for this year's judges. We have Brenda Yeager, a local poet, co-curator of the Middletown Arts Center's Resilience and Restore program. Thank you. We have a returning judge, Jessica Lytle. She's a local poet and educator. Thank you. We have Gary Mays, local poet, retired doctor, creator, and builder of the Lake County Poetry Boxes. Check those out if you don't know about them. Thank you, Gary. Accuracy judge, Pamela Bordiso, local poet, guest facilitator, Lake County Virtual Writers Circle. And I have to say she's an overall supporter of the youth in the county forever, so thank you. This year, our student competitors are champions from each school. From Upper Lake High School, we have Lupita Sanchez. From Kelseyville High School, we have Alexander Fordham. From Middletown High School, we have Laura Patterson. And from Clear Lake High School, we have Callie Clemmy. Now, most of you might want to know how this goes, so I'm going to give you a real quick brief. We're going to start round 1. I'll introduce each poet before they recite. They'll come up, they'll do their recitation for 1 poem. After that, we'll take a brief break while the judges tally their scores and pass those on. And then we will start the second round and we will then repeat and they will do a second poem. Again, we will have another break and then might have some fun. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep you waiting on that part. So now I think we're going to get ready to start our competition. So exciting. And the first person that we're going to have will be from Upper Lake High School, Lupita Sanchez.
Hello, my name is Lupita Sanchez, and today I will be reciting Nowhere Else to Go by Linda Sue Park. Turn off the lights. Wear another layer. Sounds like a dad. Sounds like a mom. You say hand-me-down, I say retro. Walk. Bike. Walk some more. Recycle. See what I did there? Bike, recycle. Your name in Sharpie on a good water bottle. Backpack. New habits. No thanks. Don't need a bag. What else? Oh yeah. Tell 10 friends. Who can tell 10 friends? Who can tell 10 friends? Make enough noise. Maybe the grown-ups will finally hear the scream in the title. Thank you.
Thank you, Lupita. For those of you that want to show your appreciation, if you don't know, there are reaction buttons on the bottom. You can do little claps, little happy faces, you just like that. I also like the good old-fashioned sign language clap, which is like this. You can see it on your screen, no noise. That's also something you can do. Our second reciter will be Alexander Fordham from Kelseyville High School.
Hello. Okay. Hello, my name is Alex Fordham. I will be presenting Mama Said by Calvin Forbes. The slice I ate, I want it back. Those crumbs I swept up, I'd like my share again. I can still taste it like it was. The memory by itself is delicious. Each bite was a small miracle, both nourishing and sweet. I wish I'd saved just a little bit. I know it wasn't a literal cake. It's the thought that counts. Like a gift that's not store-bought, making it even more special. Like a dream that makes you want to go back to sleep. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Mama said. I was defiant and hard-headed and answered, yes, I can too. The look she gave me said, boy, I hope you want a fool all your life. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going to have from Middletown High School, Clara Patterson.
My name is Lara Patterson, and I am reciting Once the World Was Perfect by Joy Harjo. Once the world was perfect, and we were happy in that world. Then we took it for granted. Discontent began a small rumble in the earthly mind. Then doubt pushed through with its spiked head. And once doubt ruptured the web, all manner of demon thoughts jumped through. We destroyed the world we had been given. For inspiration, for life, each stone of jealousy, each stone of fear, greed, envy, and hatred put out the light. No one was without a stone in his or her hand. There we were, right back where we had started. We were bumping into each other in the dark, and now we had no place to live since we didn't know how to live with each other. Then one of the stumbling ones took pity on another and shared a blanket. A spark of kindness made a light. A light made an opening in the darkness. Everyone worked together to make a ladder. A Wind Clan person climbed out first into the next world. Then the other clans, the children of those clans, their children and their children, all the way through time, to now into this morning light to you.
Yay. Thank you, Lara. And now we have from Clear Lake High School, Callie Clemmy.
Hi, I'm going to be performing Flowers by Cynthia Zarin. This morning, I was walking upstairs from the kitchen, carrying your beautiful flowers. The flowers you brought me last night. Calla lilies and something else. I'm not sure what to call them. White flowers. Of course, you had no way of knowing it has been years since I bought white flowers. But now you have, and here they are again. I was carrying your flowers and a coffee cup and a soft yellow handbag and a book of poems by a Chinese poet in which I had just read the words, "Come or go, but don't just stand there in the doorway." As usual, I was holding too many things. You would have laughed if you saw me. It seemed especially important not to spill the coffee as I usually do as I turned up the stairs inside the whorl of the house as if I were walking up inside the lilies. I do not know how to hold all of the beauty and sorrow of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Callie. So we are going to take a moment now that we've done the first round and give a chance for all the judges to get their scores together and send those off. So we're going to take a quick little bio break of 1 or 2 minutes. This is also a good time. Sometimes last year we had people that might have had a few questions they might have wanted to ask some of the students. We'll get back to that later also if someone wants to wait, but just to keep conversation going if people feel like it.
And I'd love to, for anyone who would like, feel free to use the reactions again, like Barbara mentioned, or utilize the chat. If everyone wants to unmute briefly to do a round of applause for the first round, I think that would be awesome.
Calliope! You did so great!
Good job.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Well, since we're just waiting, I would like to bring up again, mention the poetry boxes. For those of you that might not have heard of these yet, Georgina and Gary Mays have been working on these lovely poetry boxes. I guess Gary builds them himself, and Georgina helps keep them filled with poems. And right now there are several on the main street of Kelseyville, and hopefully soon to be coming to Lakeport, and who knows where else. The sky's the limit. So if you're ever in Kelseyville, now's your chance. If you see little wood boxes that are open, there's poems hiding in those. You can get a little exercise for your walking, for your body, and a little exercise for your brain with the poems. That's a great question, Kate. She says, do all our student poets write poems? I am not sure. I know some do. I don't know if they all do or not. Sophia does, yay!
Oh, and I can give a quick reminder for our students that we're going to keep the room open at the end after we conclude the competition. So if anyone wants to read an original poem, we'll do a little open mic at the end.
Yeah.
I think I'll join in on that too.
How fun.
Barbara, just to add in about the poetry boxes, Gary Mays maintains the one in Kelseyville, and on one side of the street, he always puts a poem by a published, usually nationally known poet. And on the other side of the street, he always puts a poem from a local poet. So anyone in the audience or any of the students can submit their poems to Gary Mays, and then he prints them out with really nice big font and displays them. So if you visit Main Street, Kelseyville, you'll see Gary's email posted there, and then you can send him a poem to be displayed.
Oh, wonderful. Clara writes poems too. So we have at least 2 of them are
And
poets.
I will say, I would welcome poems from anyone, and particularly the students. If they have poems, I'd love to post them.
That's great. Thank you, Gary. I know we're working on hopefully getting a poetry box at the Arts Council as well. So that will be another spot. And I think our goal will be to fill that with local poets all the time. So, because that's what it's all about. I want to celebrate our local community and what they're doing. Oh yeah, something else to mention, which we didn't have this year, but right around this time where there's this pause, we would invite second place competitors at each school to come and recite their poems. Also, usually, I guess this must have been busy today, so we didn't have any takers, so a little bit of extra quiet time. This competition is also open to homeschooled students, so if any of you know people that are homeschooled and they're in high school and they're interested, they're still more than welcome to compete. So please let people know that if you ever hear or think they might be interested, because I think students don't think that they can do it. And it's for anybody, any high school age student in the county. So here we are, our second round, the same order, same students, different poems. I'd like to introduce our first second round poet, and that is Lupita Sanchez from Upper Lake High School.
Hello, my name is Lupita Sanchez, and I will be reciting The Last Word by Nikki Grimes. I am a door of metaphor waiting to be opened. You'll find no lock, no key. All are free to enter at will. Simply step over the threshold. Remember to dress for travel, though. Visitors have been known to get carried away. Thank you.
Thank you. And so we will pause for a second. I get really into it and want to go right to the next person, but we gotta let the judges have their chance. So yay, good job. All right, I think all the judges look like they're ready. Okay, now let's invite back from Kelseyville High School, Alexander Fordham.
Hello, my name is Alex Fordham, and I will be presenting Thoughtless Cruelty by Charles Lamb. There, Robert, you have killed that fly, and should you 1,000 ages try the life you've taken to supply, you could not do it. You surely must have been devoid of thought and sense to have destroyed a thing which no way you'd annoy. You'll one day ruin. 'Twas but a fly, perhaps you'll say, that's born in April, dies in May, that does but just learn to display his wings one minute, and in the next is vanished quite. A bird devours it in his flight, or come a cold blast in the night, there's no breath in it. The bird but seeks his proper food, and Providence whose power endued. That fly with life, when it thinks good, may justly take it. But you have no excuses for it. A life by nature made so short, less reason is that you for sport should shorter make it. A fly, a little thing you rate, but Robert, do not estimate a creature's pain by small or great. The greatest being can have but fibers, nerves, and flesh, and these the smallest ones possess. Although their frame and structure let escape our seeing. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexander. Give that a minute.
Yeah, and an impromptu thanks again for everyone for being understanding and supportive.
Yes, thank you for your patience. I don't know if it makes it better or worse to say if we were really doing this in real time, we would still have pauses because the judges would have to tally even in real time. So this is pretty realistic. All right, I see eyeballs from a couple judges. I think, is everybody ready? Okay, I think we're ready. Now our third poet from Middletown High School, Lara Patterson.
Hello, my name is Lara Patterson, and I'm reciting Invisible Children by Mariana Llanos. Invisible children fall through the cracks of the system, like Alice in the rabbit hole. But these children won't find an eat me cake or a drink me bottle. They won't wake up on the lap of a loving sister. They'll open their eyes on the hand of a monster called negligence, who will poke them with its sharp teeth and bait them with its heartless laughter. But the children won't wake up to the smell of a warm supper, nor will they find a purple crayon to draw an escape door or window. Instead, they'll make a mirror of a murky puddle on the city street, which won't tell them they're beautiful, but it'll show their scars as invisible to others as these children are.
Thank you, Lara. One minute. I see you guys are battling some light. That's definitely also an issue as the day goes on and the sun moves. All right, I've got lots of thumbs up. So now we're gonna, last but not least, from Clear Lake High School, Callie Clemmy.
Hi, I'm Callie, and I'm going to be reciting Hanging Fire by Audre Lorde. I am 14 and my skin has betrayed me. The boy I cannot live without still sucks his thumb in secret. How come my knees are always so ashy? What if I die before morning and Mama's in the bedroom with the door closed? I have to learn to dance in time for the next party. My room is too small for me, but suppose I die before graduation. They will sing sad melodies, but finally tell the truth about me. There is nothing I want to do and too much that has to be done, and Mama's in the bedroom with the door closed. Nobody even stops to think about my side of it. I should have been on math team. My marks were better than his. Why do I have to be the one wearing braces? I have nothing to wear tomorrow. Will I live long enough to grow up? And Mama's in the bedroom with the door closed. Thank you.
Thank you, Callie. So now that concludes the second round. So now we need the judges will need some time to tally their points and share those so that they can all be averaged. On top of the judges that are looking for their emoting, there's actually an accuracy judge, for those of you that might not know, that is also following along to make sure, for accuracy, to see if they get the words right. There's a lot of moving pieces when it comes to poetry, especially when you're performing poetry. There's the feeling, there's the words, there's the actions, there's so much. So good job, all of you guys, for successfully getting all your poems out. Great job. While we're waiting, this is a good time if anybody has any questions for the students to go ahead and ask up. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions to the students about how they went through this process.
For Invisible Children, I wanted to pick a topic that was like really hard on me and like kind of deep. I wanted a topic that would really speak. And I was just like looking through like all the poems in the alphabet, like what, and I just stumbled upon it and I was like, this is it.
Great, that's awesome. Yeah, it's interesting to see how people pick them, whether it's product driven, you kind of knew what you wanted as your outcome, so you looked for that, and then some people just discover it reading and go, oh, but that was a very hard hitting one. I agree, you did a good job. If that was your goal, you hit it. That got me into feels. So now that we're beginning to wrap up, one of the things we like to do is also offer our judges. I think there was a question in the beginning of how we choose our judges, and the coordinator helps find them, but we do try to find people that are based in poetry and have some experience in that. And so, of course, our judges have poems they would like to share as well. And so I would like to invite all of them up once they're done with their stuff. And I believe, Gary, you sent me a message. I think you are ready. Would you like to share a poem, Gary?
I'll be happy to. I need to do unmute first. So I think, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the contestants. I thought everybody did a great job. It was really fun to hear the poems. Great poems choices too, no question about it. I've sort of got involved in poetry more in the last maybe 20 years. It's not something I did my whole life. I sort of wish I had. And I often write poems that are based on a little quilted flannel shirt that I wrote, probably 3 or 4 years ago. I think the poem will explain itself. Quilted flannel shirt. Winter solstice. Days are cold and dry. No rain, none in the forecast. First hard freeze. Breakfast in town. Returning home, I pass our well. Broken pipes. Frozen solid and undetected earlier, now thawed, spewing water like a geyser. A cold rain, today's work announces itself. I gather tools and parts and don the tattered quilted flannel shirt once worn by my father. Paint stains, torn cuffs do not diminish its warmth. It hangs in the corner of the garage on a coat rack of antique doorknobs fashioned by him years ago. I helped my old dog into the old pickup, inherited over 20 years ago after a heart attack took Dad's life. I think of him often, especially when I'm working, driving the truck wearing that old warm shirt. Last fall, deep in the drawer of his old saw, I found an old Hershey's can, Hershey's chocolate can, full of more Allen wrenches than he or I would ever use. I was making benches for my sons, and I left the brown can and wrenches right where they belong. He loved ice cream every night, lots of chocolate syrup. Give us this day our daily dessert. He died suddenly, too young, at an age I am approaching now. I don't dwell on that out of fear or foreboding, more a sense of wonder at the journey, the shared rhythms of our lives. I miss him, but it's okay. I have pipes to repair. We need water. And when I finish, I park the truck, help the dog out, and hang the warm shirt in its place. I go inside, into the warmth, past the holiday decoration crafted by his hands a lifetime ago. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
So I'm just waiting on scores from one more judge. So I'm happy to share my poem now.
Yes, please.
So I'm choosing an older poem of mine, which I thought would be appropriate for this event. It's called Articulating Poetry. Something came to me on a frost-chewed winter morning. 15 years I had lived, rarely touching my feet to the snow. Now 30 years of living, the snow has melted and returned many times. Each time new words, each time a new winter. I don't know how melon-drenched words come to me in shapes of edible stars, feeding me with a literal sustenance, built as earth movers writing themselves into terms of endearment, into life-altering stanzas, continuing to imprint their weight into the moistened ground, always a few steps ahead and a few steps behind mine. They are as real as paper cuts, coating the wounds like honey. I am asked to articulate where this comes from. What can I say besides one day I woke up choking on air and found words on the floor beneath me? No explanation, every color, every texture, no education to it, no explanation at all. It is unknown why cherubs live inside my stomach and carve words into the inside lining, cheering excitedly when they know they are being written, when they hear them being spoken, when they feel they are about to choke a new life out of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Georgina. Yes, and would any other judge that
There
has
was just,
finished,
oh wow.
any judge that's finished their scoring would like to recite a poem?
I think I saw Jessica's finger grab there.
Oh, there you are. People are getting spread out. I'm losing them. Yes, Jessica, would you please recite a poem for us?
I hope you can all hear me. It looks like my streaming is a little sketchy. So this is just a short, quick one. We've had some amazing sunsets and some amazing clouds lately. So this is a little bit of an older one that that I did, and it's short and sweet. So it's called Dialogue of the Clouds. Unfettered owl-eyed clouds turn heads rounded, spun like weather vanes to track wind through movements of cumulus puffs into taffy-poled cirrus transformations, striating across blue blush horizon, then hover there, rested for a measure or two. And you, astonished spinning in place, watch all color bleed into a canvas of gessoed stratus.
Nice, thank you. Those are some strong words there. Very descriptive. I like it. Michelle is one. She's like, thank you. Yeah, well, definitely. Absolutely. Michelle Kruger, our other poet coach.
Somewhere.
So for those of you that don't know about poet coaches, this is something that is also part of the Lake County Arts Council's gift for Poetry Out Loud. Teachers can teach their students, but then also if they would like, we have poet coaches that will come into the classrooms and work with the students. And Michelle's been doing it forever. She's amazing. So thank you, Michelle. Please recite a poem for us.
Thank you. I lost my home on a smoky night, trunk crammed with art and photographs. Bereft of what I left behind, chenille sofa, silk kimono, erased, reduced to elemental carbon. I lost my home on a mountainside where fire scaled this rocky ridge to scald my skies in ochre, a ritual of renunciation. I lost my home to a seething breath that taught me how to breathe again, the final chapter of who I had been. Thank you.
Thank you. How are other judges? Are any of you guys ready? You would like to recite?
We'll have the winners in about 1 to 2 minutes.
I can go ahead here.
Yay, Brenda Yeager, thank you so much. Let's hear your lovely poem.
This is for everyone with a father. Bastet and the setting sun. I lay on the couch so long the fabric, once brocade, faded entirely to bone. Memory of rose and aqua, twist of marigold, and then not even the memory, just cross strings, weave blown out to dust, dull satin, weeping what's inside. Pillows no longer could bear the weight of my grief, broken and doubled, one half holding the necklace he chose for me. Bastet, cat lady, he called me from afar because he was allergic to my mind and that I dared to live my own. He picked it from the gift shop at the Metropolitan Museum, old Egyptian, goddess and mystery, he saw me for a moment and I was gold. But should a child be cast from metal, spring fully formed from the father's head, only to hunt the sky for unrequited dreams, that distant deity still waxes her secret light, undomesticated by Roman gods, or the singular one who bore down later. In the days of mourning, the other half tried to cry, but had expressed so many tears beneath that heavy hand, no more would come. The amulet worried between whorls of my rage and my bond, slipped into the blind place between the cushions where I lay, it seemed for months, where I wanted to lie for a year, curtains drawn, so that no one could look into my eyes as they divulged how ridiculous life appears in death. Only the bereaved should glimpse that face. May the rest be cocooned, still able to count pears into a basket, roller skate birthdays, Scrabble online with their dad, until they cannot. How can a ghost cross over if my face still remembers its physical impact? Maybe he left that demon with me because I believe in transmutation. His final color, yellow, still falls in my mind. Petals curve a fragrant path into the last air above his body and its box before the dirt went in. Neck bare, I tore the sofa apart, but that gift never returned from the dark. I mourned its loss, and then the moon rose full. It was time to see myself.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think that's all of the judges. I think we have everybody, all the judges, and everyone else that wants to give poems. You'll have a chance, I promise, afterwards. So thank you so much for being here, for listening and wanting to do more. That's great. But I believe I was given the secret list, so I can announce the winners. Okay.
Can we do a quick round of applause for everyone?
Sure. And you want to unmute your mics or hand jive or reaction?
Amazing.
And another huge thank you to all the teachers and principals and coaches and parents. It takes everybody to make this happen. So you guys, thank you. And of course the students.
Triple out for all our educators.
Yeah, thank you so much for helping make this happen. So, yay. With that said, let me scroll back up and find where it went. There it goes. Okay. So in fourth place, our runner-up is Maria Sanchez. Maria Lupita Sanchez. For third place, we have Lara Patterson. And now for second place, we have Alexander Fordham, which puts first place as Sophia Callie Clemmy as first place from Clear Lake High School. Callie, thank you. You are our county champion. You are going to represent us at the state of California as our champion. Get it, girl. Thank you. Good job, everybody. With
Way
that,
to Callie, great job, everybody. But way to go, Callie. I'm proud of you. Good job.
aha, happy teacher there. And for those of you that don't know, this is Tim's first year at Clear Lake High School. So I'm sure this is going to help keep him going in this program for years to come now.
Well, and you have to blame Georgina. She was quite relentless getting us to participate, being my first year. teaching theater there. So she was on it. She was a great ambassador for what you guys were doing. So thank you to her too.
Yes, Georgina, good job. Thanks all around so much. So with that, I would like to thank you all for attending. We are going to piece this together and put a digital version on YouTube on the Soper Reese Theater's webpage or YouTube page. So that will come out as soon as we figure out how to edit everything. I don't know how long that'll take. And yeah, so I'm going to pass this over to Georgina because she is the queen of writers' circles and poetry happenings on Zoom. And please stay if you're into it and you want to listen or you want to recite something. And thank you very much. And have a great day.
Thank you so much, Barbara. For those who are still here, I'd love to just unmute one more time and applause for all the teachers, the students, for Barbara, for the Arts Council, for everyone involved.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. This was fantastic.